Hi! I was way too excited. I took a week off last week and I am coming in full force on Monday. Like with all the energy. 10-year anniversary trip down to San Francisco and then back up the coast. Lots of driving. Definitely worth it, but very different in terms of a vacation. It's one of those things that I think we'll look back on and be like, I'm glad we did that. Probably won't do that again. We'll probably just fly somewhere and sit on a chair and drink margaritas. But this was a good vacation, and it was a good way to kind of also celebrate 1 year in the Seattle area. So we moved here exactly 1 year ago on October 14th, 2020, and now it's 2021. So coming back from that experience and really entering into whatever this life has for us. And I'm coming in full force. I took some time off, so I didn't record last week, but I did pull cards, and I also want to close out our chakra series. So I have my beloved book in front of me, Eastern Body, Western Mind by Anodea, Judith. And today we are talking about the Crown Chakra. So everybody kind of just touch the energy that is the top of the head, pull your crown up, stand up tall, and I, crazily enough, as it goes, pulled a card today from this tarot deck, the Rider Tarot. And again, I'm going to make a little plug for a training, a Jungian training that's happening this weekend. It's starting this Saturday, and then I think it's like a 6-week training on how to interpret the symbols of this deck using Jungian psychology with your patients, your clients, so that you can kind of, not only, maybe they don't want to pull cards, that's totally fine, but there are these ancient symbols that appear in our dreams, and Jung wrote about them in his dream book, and then there are things that kind of come out in our artwork. So as art therapists, they will come out, and it's important to look at, we've looked at color, but also as just as important is to look at symbols in history, in culture, in dreams, and how they can have meaning, many layers of meaning, because that will help us better understand ourselves, better understand those that we're working with. So today I pulled this card, which is the 6 of Wands. And the description is: a laureled horseman bears staff adorned with laurel crown. Footmen with staves are at his side. And the message is: the card has been so designed that it can cover several significations. On the surface, it is a victor triumphing, but it is also great news, such as might be carried in state by the king's courier. It is expectation crowned with its own desire, the crown of hope. I'm going to say that again, because this reminded me that I needed to record about our crown chakra. It is expectation crowned with its own desire. What are your own desires right now? How can we expect, wait expectantly, expect them to happen, move toward with hopeful expectation? It is crowned with its own desire, the crown of hope. I did I recorded an episode, I guess it's called an episode, I don't know what it's called, of holding hope a while ago, kind of when I first started these. And during this time of being away, I really feel as if that hope has come back to me. It's been like a bowl or a cup that has been filled up again, and now I have the capacity to hope again. And sometimes that's what time away from our everyday life does to us. That's what self-care can do for us. And also just that idea of not just hoping, but moving toward a goal in the expectation that it's going to unfold in a way that serves our highest good, that serves us. While I was away, I'll show you a photo, but first time I saw the Pacific Ocean, amazing. And oh my God, you know I love rocks. And so there are just like rocks everywhere in the Pacific. We also went to Glass Beach. I collected a little bit of little fragments of glass that were created out of lightning bolts and sand. I mean, come on. Magic. But I also pulled this card and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. So this is the Emerald card. And it says ceremonies and celebrations. It's a time of important life passages, such as weddings, birthdays, graduations, or anniversaries. Hello. Yes. So this trip for me was a celebration. And this guy looks like he is celebrating. He's also moving towards something. And he is sharing a message. And so we're here together. I am celebrating my 1 year in the Seattle area, my 10-year wedding anniversary. In November, I celebrate my 40th birthday. And then we are still yet at this midlife, celebrating and moving toward, with hopeful expectation, the things that are in our hearts. And the things that our intuition are sharing with us, that they actually exist. They just haven't been manifested yet. They exist in spirit form. And as we move toward things that we feel are present for us in our lives in some way in our future, then that is how we manifest or bring it into a flesh being, a physical form. So moving from cards to chakras, we are on the 7th chakra. So I'm kind of combining both of these videos this week. It's on the top of the head, the cerebral cortex. It's the 7th. Its central issue is awareness. So that kind of being up and being able to view the surroundings, that awareness. Orientation to self is knowledge. So self-knowledge, the way that we understand all of us from our root to our crown, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, the history, the genealogy. So it's this self-awareness that is our orientation to self. And the goal is wisdom, knowledge, consciousness, and spiritual connection. The rights are to know. I have the right to know. Say that to yourself. Say that out loud. Declare it. I have the right to know. And the developmental stage is not just one. It is throughout your entire life. So throughout our entire life, we get to learn. We get to obtain knowledge. We get to know and know and know and know more things about humanity, how the universe exists. We get to know. Together, we get to learn and grow and know. Identity is universal identity. So this means that we are connected to something greater than just our individual self. We're connected to our lineage, to our country, to our world, to animals, to the galaxy, that there's this universal connection. And Jung talks about this as well, that like that's kind of the whole point of archetypes and dreams, is that we are being kind of sent messages through a language that is ancient, and we get to connect to that language. The demon is attachment, and the element is thought. The excessive characteristics, so if it's like overworking, it's overly intellectual, spiritual addiction, confusion, or disassociation. So when we're going too much up here and we're not able to be in our bodies, but we're in our heads about everything, we're overthinking, we're overanalyzing, we're maybe paying more attention to the spiritual, to religion, to doctrine, and not paying attention to the earth, saving the planet, the things that are right here on ground level, then that's excessive. The deficient characteristics are learning difficulties, spiritual skepticism, limited beliefs, materialism, and apathy. Those are a lot, right? Let me say that again, and then I'll list them visually. But I'm also noting that things that are a lot for me might not be a lot for other people, and that's what we want to tune in when we think about self-awareness, is that when something like stops you, then that's like a point of, ooh, that might hit home. I might need to spend a little bit more time on this. So learning difficulties, spiritual skepticism, limited beliefs. I hope I don't have that, but sometimes I am overly critical. Materialism, maybe spending more time on the physical and less on the spiritual. And apathy, meaning like, I don't care. Ugh, none of this matters. So that's if your crown chakra is deficient. And again, coming back to that idea of chakra system, we want them to be in balance and like a moving disc. So we don't want it to be excessive. We don't want it to be deficient. We want it to be balanced and moving. So we want to find somewhere in between. That is the seventh chakra. I might add on a little bit later in the week some activities that we could do, maybe art directives around activating the crown chakra. For now, I'm just going to leave you with this knowledge, and I'm going to also encourage you to really look at your relationship to knowledge, to spirit, and compare it perhaps to the other parts of life. Is there a balance? Is there an imbalance? Do you feel apathy or skepticism in any way? And how can we maybe bring it back into balance? So I look forward to seeing you soon, talking to you soon, and maybe exploring this crown chakra a little bit more with you during this week.